Have you ever wondered who the craziest ruler in history was? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the reign of Emperor Caligula, one of the most bizarre rulers ever. Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, better known as Caligula, ascended to the Roman throne in AD 37. Initially, his rule was a breath of fresh air, a beacon of hope following the oppressive reigns of his predecessors. Caligula promised to restore the grandeur of Rome, and his early days on the throne were marked by public reforms and acts of generosity, winning the hearts of many. However, the young emperor's health took a hit early into his reign, and with that began his descent into madness, morphing his rule into a reign of terror. But after surviving a serious illness early in his reign, Caligula's behavior took a drastic turn, marking the beginning of one of history's most infamous reigns. Caligula's illness seemed to flip a switch in his mind, leading to a level of extravagance and cruelty that shocked the empire. After this turning point, the young emperor's actions became increasingly erratic and outrageous. His divine pretensions were the first sign of his descent into madness. Caligula began to see himself not as a ruler, but as a living god. He would appear in public, donned in the attire of various deities such as Hercules, Mercury, and even Venus. The emperor took his self-deification to such lengths that he insisted his statues be worshipped as religious icons. Then came an act so outlandish, it has become infamous in history. Caligula attempted to appoint his favorite horse, Incitatus, as a consul and a priest. The horse, it was said, lived a life of luxury in a stable of marble, dined from an ivory manger, and was draped in robes of purple silk. The horse even had a house for entertaining dignitaries, displaying the emperor's absolute disregard for the sanctity of Roman political offices. His architectural extravagance was another testament to his madness. Caligula squandered the empire's resources on lavish projects, the most notorious being a floating bridge across the Bay of Bai. Constructed from boats lined up across the bay and covered with soil and luxurious furnishings, Caligula paraded over this bridge for 2 days, clad in the breastplate of Alexander the Great to disprove a prophecy and proclaim his divinity. But his madness didn't stop at extravagant displays. His sadistic enjoyment of suffering became evident. Caligula seemed to revel in the pain of others, turning executions into bloodthirsty spectacles. He allegedly fed criminals to wild beasts alive and often ordered entire families executed for his amusement. His scandalous sexual exploits were just the tip of the iceberg of his outrageous behavior. The imperial palace became a brothel under his rule, with senators' wives forced into prostitution. He committed incest with his sisters and sold their services to other men, boasting publicly of his conquests. Caligula's reign of madness lasted only 4 years, but those were enough to leave a lasting mark on the Roman Empire. His unpredictable rule came to an abrupt end in AD 41 when he was assassinated by his own Praetorian guards. A clear indication of the widespread discontent among the Roman elites, his death was met with relief rather than sorrow. The empire he left behind was in financial ruin, a direct result of his extravagant and reckless spending. His successors, notably his uncle Claudius, faced an uphill task of restoring stability and economic health to the empire. In their efforts to repair the damage, they sought to erase all traces of Caligula's reign. Statues were torn down, his architectural follies were repurposed, and his name was removed from public records. Caligula's brutal and erratic rule highlighted the dangers of absolute power combined with madness, leaving the empire in financial ruin. Despite his disastrous reign, Caligula's legacy remains a compelling chapter in the annals of history. This enigmatic emperor, whose rule was marked by madness and brutality, has left a lasting imprint on the sands of time. Caligula's story serves as a stark reminder of the volatility of unchecked authority. His absolute power, combined with his deteriorating mental state, led to a reign of terror that shook the Roman Empire to its core. This combination of absolute power and insanity resulted in one of the most notorious reigns in history, a reign that was marked by sadistic cruelty, extravagant spending, and shocking scandals. Throughout history, leaders have been entrusted with power to guide their people towards prosperity. But when this power falls into the hands of a madman like Caligula, the results can be disastrous. His reign serves as a testament to the dangers of unrestrained authority and the potential for it to spiral into tyranny. Caligula's reign also highlighted the importance of checks and balances in a governing system. His unchecked rule led to the empire's financial ruin and widespread discontent among the elites. This ultimately resulted in his assassination, a clear sign of the failure of the Roman system to prevent the rise of such a tyrant. Moreover, Caligula's life offers a profound lesson on the human condition itself. His descent into madness and the resulting atrocities he committed underscore the potential for human beings to lose their moral compass, especially when they wield significant power. In essence, Caligula's story is a cautionary tale about the perils of absolute power, the dangers of madness, and the necessity of checks and balances in governance. His reign was a dark period in Roman history, but it left an indelible mark that continues to resonate in the corridors of time. Thank you for joining us on this exploration into the chaotic reign of Caligula. Until next time, keep exploring history and uncovering the hidden truths of the past.